Here we have a version of Words2Learn called Words2Learn Academic. We also have a Words2Learn Health. This is just a demo, so I'm going to give you some sample pages. Usually the number of screens is 30. In this it's a lot smaller. I'm going to give you some samples, and so you'll get a sense of the content, but not really a sense of how students would go through it. Generally, students seem to take between 15 and 30 minutes to go through it. And so we give them the first page where they just get introduced to the words for the first time. Possibly they know the words, and so we have on the next page a list of words, and they get to interact and see if they understand these words, if they've had experience with these words. And so they would select a few, or maybe all of them. And then in the next page we see, do they really know these words? And so there's a little bit of a pre-test. We try to warn them ahead of time. They're not to worry. They're not expected to know the answers. This is just an important step in assessing your knowledge before you begin. So we find that some students will think they know the word, and then find by going through this that they need to study a little bit more. So we find it helpful, and it also gives the feedback to the teacher which words students know, so they can prepare and focus on certain words in class. So it's a good formative assessment. So here we go. To make a judgment about a person or a situation after thinking carefully about it means to, I'm going to say analyze here. But it's incorrect. It's really, the answer is assess, because when you assess something or someone, you not only think carefully but make a judgment. So it gives the answer, it tells you whether you got it correct or not, and gives the answer, and then repeats the definition one more time so they can get another exposure to the word. And then they're given an opportunity to submit after this little pre-test, and they'll see their answers once again. They'll see the question, they'll see the answers, and the feedback. And then they get into actually learning the words, and with each of the 5 words there's a pronunciation, the definition, and an example in the context of a sentence. Pretty standard. But then what we follow up with is a more interesting interaction. They have a scenario, a very short sentence, and they're asked to read the sentence, and it has the word in context. And the idea here is to connect students with the word, and making some kind of personal connection where that they state an opinion about the scenario given. So there's no one right or wrong answer, and teachers often use this and discuss in class and use it as a jumping off point for discussion or writing and the like. We've found that many teachers like to use this as a way to, as a jump start for their work in class. And after they go through 5 of those, and what do you think about each of those 5, there's a review exercise where they can practice some more. And in this case, we could put in fill in the blank. There's also an opportunity to, where they can type in some of these. And so let's see. Even though you were sneezing a lot, I did not approach you were sick. No, that's incorrect. The correct answer is assume. And so at this point, they again see the results. They see the question again. They see the response that they made and the feedback. And then they end and go to class